When Lori shared the theme, putting love into determined action, my inner achiever was like, yes, I have got this. I'm all over it. Determined action, totally my specialty. And then I was like, wait a minute. What about the love part? Determined action is useless unless it's both directed by love and fueled by love. Without God's love guiding and providing, we could easily charge off in the wrong direction, wasting time and energy, or we might be headed in the right direction, but exhaust our strength and resources before we reach the destination. You can have all the determination in the world, but it won't get you to a God-ordained destination. Your determined action cannot accomplish a God-given mission. I don't know if you've heard this saying, it's pretty common. If you can accomplish your dream, it's not big enough. When God gives us a dream, a mission, it will be too big for us to accomplish on our own. We can't do it. We can't even figure out how to do it. We have to rely on Him. We trust Him each step of the journey, and we give Him all the glory when we reach that mountaintop, because we know without a doubt that we did not get there on our own. I mean, that all, sounds really exciting, doesn't it? It's like almost cinematic. We're there on the mountaintop. Well, I hate to break it to you, but excitement and fear are flip sides of the same coin. If you've ever taken a risk in your life, you know what I'm talking about. Excitement propels us forward. Fear holds us back, and it's a fine line. We know from 1 John 4:18 that there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. And I don't know about you, but failure itself feels like a terrible punishment to me. If I let fear of failure, fear of even making a mistake, have its way, it causes paralysis. I mean, why take a risk when I can just sit over here, all safe and sound? Well, when we live like that, we're not living in the love of God. Relying on Him, we can overcome fear. His love is what drives it out. So I want to spend our time today talking about fear and the courage of overcoming fear with faith, hope, and love. And there's a really interesting explanation of courage in Brené Brown's book. The title is, it's a long title. I thought it was just me, but it isn't. Making the journey from what will people think to I am enough. And it's all about overcoming shame. So here's what she says about courage. Courage is a heart word. The root of the word courage is cor, C-O-R, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage meant to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. Over time, this definition has changed, and today we typically associate courage with heroic and brave deeds. But in my opinion, this definition fails to recognize the inner strength and level of commitment required for us to actually speak honestly and openly about who we are and about our experiences, good and bad. Speaking from our hearts is what I think of as ordinary courage. And that's what she says. I personally like every day instead of ordinary, because I think it's pretty extraordinary, really. So I'm going to call it everyday courage, as in something we can practice and model every day in all kinds of ordinary situations. Being honest and vulnerable is essential for us to overcome fear with everyday courage. And we've all seen this play out time and again. Free people what we model in our lives, whether in our ministry, our family, a workplace, whatever the setting, we inspire that in others around us. And the enemy hates that. He hates it. He doesn't want us to be transparent or vulnerable. He doesn't want us or the people around us to know that our fears are actually common. Like common, as in, oh, you feel that way too? I'm so glad I'm not the only one, which is, the title of Brené's book. I thought it was just me, but it isn't. The enemy wants to isolate us. He wants us to keep our fears in some dark corner of our mind where they can fester and breed shame. I can't bring that into the light. People will see it. I'm uniquely messed up. No one could really understand. That's a lie. Our struggles are common, part of the human experience. Like Scripture says in 1 Corinthians 10:12-13. So, if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Well, in verse 13, the Greek for temptation and tempted can also mean testing and tested, which has a little different meaning. For me, it's easy to think of temptation, testing, in terms of like really blatantly sinful actions. For example, in the years that I struggled with compulsive overeating, I thought in terms of the temptation to binge. But think about worry. Jesus tells us not to worry, so worry is a sin. So if you plug that in, no worry has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. In other words, you are not alone. Whatever you're tempted to worry about, and heaven knows there's plenty of stuff to worry about these days, people would understand. They do understand.